Good morning students. So myself Akshay Mahendrakar, and in the last class we had discussed about Pascal's law and what applications of Pascal's law. Clear? Here we are having a question. Let us go through that question and let us check what will be the solution for this given question. Clear? So two syringes of different cross sections. Clear? So syringes means in hospitals. Clear? Injection we can be calling, okay, injecting something. So two syringes of different cross sections, and here they had mentioned without needles, clear, are filled with water and connected with the tightly fitted rubber tube, clear. So with the help of rubber tube they have just fitted and it is filled with water, and diameters of the smaller piston and larger piston are 1 centimeter and 3 centimeter respectively. That means what is this 1 centimeter? This 1 centimeter, it is nothing but diameter of smaller piston. Okay, that is 1 centimeter. Then diameter of larger piston value is 3 centimeter. Clear? Next what they are asking here, find the force exerted on the larger piston when the force of 10 Newton is applied to the smaller piston. So what is this case actually? What we had discussed in our last class, that is nothing but hydraulic lift. Correct? No? Based on the principle of Pascal's law, we had studied what? Hydraulic lift. And what formula we had got over there? F2 by F1 should be equal to what? A2 by A1. Based on that formula, we are going to solve this complete problem. So here they had given that in A part, find the force exerted on the larger piston. Larger piston means what they are asking, F1 they are asking or F2 they are asking. So solution where I can write, here only in bracket shall I give you the solution? Okay, solution for this question. Okay, so find the force exerted on the larger piston. Larger piston means what they are asking, F2, correct? Force exerted on larger piston means that is nothing but F2 they are asking. Because on smaller piston we will apply the force F1, correct? No? And for the larger piston we had just taken that force as F2. Okay, so F2 they are asking when the force of 10 Newton, clear, can you able to see this? Okay, when the force of 10 Newton is applied on the smaller piston, that means what is this 10 Newton? This 10 Newton, it is nothing but F1, correct? No, a small force of 10 Newton, it is applied on the smaller piston, and they are asking what is the value for F2. And what about A1 and A2? They had given diameters of larger piston and smaller piston. Clear? So in what way we can go? F2 they are asking us. So directly shall I write? Basically formula is nothing but F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1, or F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2. However you can choose. So F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1 means F2 is equal to F1 into A2 by A1. Clear? So just substitute the values, what all the things we can get. Check F1 value is 10 Newton. Clear? So 10 directly I will substitute here. Okay, if you are unable to follow this means you can follow for step by step writing also. Yesterday how we had did step by step method. Okay, in that manner also you can follow. So F1 is 10 Newton. Next A2. Okay, area of second piston, that is nothing but what? Pi R2 square. For second one we can consider R2. This is nothing but what? Diameters of smaller piston. Smaller piston means this value will be D1. Clear? So for here what we want? Pi. Okay, first I will write R2 square whole divided by A1 means pi R1 square. Clear? Pi will get cancelled over here. So 10 okay into R2 value square that. So here which is your R2? R2 means larger piston, clear? Radius of larger piston. So diameters of smaller piston and larger piston are 1 and 3. That means 3 will be the diameter of larger piston. Okay? Diameter they had given, but what we want? A radius we want, correct? No? So 3 is the diameter means 3 by 2 value will be what? Radius. So 3 by 2 means, that means if you make 2 parts, in whole 3 means 1 and half, 1 and half. Okay, 1.5 plus 1.5 gives rise to 3. That means the diameter of this larger piston R2 value will be 1.5 5 centimeter. Okay, in centimeter manner they had given. Centi means what again? 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Whole divided by R1 square. R1 square. R1 is, sorry, B1 is 1.0 centimeter. That means 1 centimeter. Correct, no? R1. Smaller piston and larger piston, 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is nothing but what? A diameter of smaller piston. Clear? But what we want? A radius of that smaller piston. Radius means what I can do? If we make two parts in one means, it will become 0.5 and 0.5. That means basically half and half. Half plus half gives rise to 1. Clear? So that's why diameter is 1 centimeter means radius is d by 2. That means 1 by 2. Directly 1 by 2 is nothing but what? 0.5. 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 square. Okay? Can you solve this? So how to solve this means 10 and this complete product 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Okay, this complete product 1.5 square also you have to do, and 10 to the power of minus 2 square also you have to do. Next 0.5 square, again 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. So where I can proceed this F2. Can you able to see it here? Solution, continuation. So what all the things I can write it over here means F2 is equal to 10 here. 10. So 10 as it is I will write next. 1.5 what I will do means I will just shift this decimal point to here. So it will become what? 15. Clear? 15 into this 10 to the power of minus 2 will become what? Decimal is shifting right side means power of 10 will shift left side of the number line. Correct, no? So 15 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square, 4 divided by, here what you are having? 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Again shift that decimal, make this as 5. Okay, better make it as 5. 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square. 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square. Now proceed for this step. 10 as it is, you can write. Clear? 15 square. 15 15s are how much is it is? 225. Clear? Squares I hope you might have remembered from your school days. 15 into 15 gives rise to 225. Next to 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square means it will become 10 to the power of minus 6. Clear? Next in denominator what we are having? 5 square. 5 5s are 25. Correct? Next 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square means again 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, this 10 to the power of minus 6, 10 to the power of minus 6 will vanish. So here what I can cancel? 5 5s are 25. Here 5 2s are 20, 2 is remaining. 5 5s are 25, 5 9s are 45. Correct? So 9 into 10, that is nothing but 90. So what we had calculated? Force F2, that means this will be 90 Newton. Clear? Therefore F2 is equal to 90 Newton. Okay, this completes our A part. Clear? Solution from here I had started but completed here. Okay, this part after that directly I had continued here because here in between we are having B part also. Clear? So while writing the solution, write solution in a stretch only. Okay, don't write it like this. So write a solution heading here only, and complete part you can write it in single manner. Okay, shall we go for this solution for this B? Okay, you can copy it down first. A part solution. Next we will go to B part. Shall I erase this part? So here how much we got? Finally F2 is equal to 90 Newton. So if we solve this complete thing means finally I am going to get here 90 Newton. How this 90 Newton came? Here I had explained. Yeah? Shall we go to the solution for this B part? So what they are telling, if the smaller piston is pushed through 6 centimeters, then how much does the larger piston will move out? Okay. So how you can go for this? So here we have this hydraulic lift system, correct? One will be of smaller cross section, another will be of larger cross section, which we had discussed yesterday. Clear? So this we had assumed as A1, this one as A2, force F1 applied, F2 exerted by that pressure, and finally we got F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1. Okay? So what I am telling here, if this piston is moved some distance x, okay, that only they are telling. If the smaller piston is pushed through 6 centimeter, here x is nothing but 6 centimeter they are telling. Okay, if piston is moved for some distance x, then what is the distance moved by this piston, that they are asking. So remember, the volume how much we are pushing here, that means this piston, if I push something, means that the volume of water will just get pushed over here. That means the volume which is covered here, the same value will come here. Clear? So according to that we are going to solve. So volume, how to check now volume? Okay, volume is nothing but length into cross sectional area. Clear? So if you are having a cross sectional area of a round shaped figure, you can imagine a bottle. Clear? It will be having circular cross sectional area. If that cross sectional area, circular cross sectional area, if you multiply with the total length of that water bottle, then you are going to get what? Total volume of the water bottle. Clear? Like that we are going to solve. So A into L will give us volume. Okay, initial volume A1 L1 is equal to, I will take it as final volume A2 L2. That means these two volumes should be same. That means how much volume we are pushing here, the same value of volume will just shifted over there. Clear? So now check what all the things we can take it from here. If the smaller piston is pushed through 6 centimeters, smaller piston, that means L1 value will be 6 centimeter. Clear? L1 value will be what? 6 centimeter. 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 centimeter. Okay? Area A1. A1, how we can calculate? How we can calculate A1? Here A1 is nothing but cross sectional area for smaller piston. For smaller piston, diameter they had given, that is nothing but 1 centimeter. With the help of pi r square formula, pi r means what will be the r value from this D? R value will be 0.5. Correct? 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, because it is in the manner of centimeter, that's why converted 10 to the power of minus 2. Next, A2 also you can calculate, that is nothing but pi r2 square. D2 they had given 3 centimeter, that means r2 value will become what? 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, next L2 they are asking, that means how much does the larger piston will move out? Okay, L2 they are asking. So just by simple calculation you can calculate it. So how we can calculate from this? L2 will become what? First of all, pi will get cancelled. Okay, so L2 value will be this value divided by this value. Clear? So just check here, 10 to the power of minus 2 means 1 minus 2 will get cancelled over here. So what is remaining? 0.5 into 6. Clear? 0.5 into 6 will become what? 3. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 2. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole divided by 1.5. Correct? So this 1.5 you can write it as 3 by 2. So what will happen? 2 will come to numerator, means 3 into 2 it will be 6. 6 divided by 3. That means 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Or this value will be 2 centimeter. Are you following here? 1.5 can be written as 3 by 2. Okay. If you written here 3 by 2 means this 2 will come to numerator again. So 3 into 2 will become 6. So 6 here we had changed for 3. So 6 by 3 is nothing but 2 and 10 to the power of minus 2 as it is. Okay. You should have to practice this manner of this kind of calculation. Clear? For quicker and faster calculation when you are not having any calculators in your hand, in this method you should have to calculate. Clear? You can copy it down quickly. Okay, 1 second. Here this value should be pi r, only pi r I had written, it should be pi r square. Here also pi r square. Now check what will be your final answer. I am extremely sorry, this will be not your answer. Now check once again your calculation part. So this should be 0.5 pi r square, only I had written r here also r I had written. So I am extremely sorry. Just check it over here what you are going to get. L2 is equal to, so 0.5 square, clear? So 0.5 square means 0.25, clear? Next, here 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2, as it is you can mention, into 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2, clear? Whole divided by this 1.5 square, 15 15s are 225 means 1.5 into 1.5, 2.25. Clear? 2.25. Now check what will be your final answer from this. So how you can shift it over here, all the things, how you can shift the decimal, just check, make it as 25. Clear? 25 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Yeah, 25 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay. Next 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Next in denominator, you can shift it over here, 225 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So minus 2 will get cancelled. 25 1s are 25 9s are correct? 25 9s are 225. Next 6 by 9. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. So 2 by 3 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So if you calculate 2 by 3 means approximately equal to 0.6. Okay, into 10 to the power of minus 2 I can write it as centimeter. Clear? So while solving you should have to be very cautious. Don't make mistakes like this. Clear? So this is pi r square. This is also pi r square. Clear? Copy it down. Can you able to see clearly here? This is 0.6. Clear? 0.6. Approximately equal to 0.6. Clear? Shall we go to next question? Shall we go to next question? Clear? So now come to next question. In a car lift, compressed air exerts a force F1 on a small piston having a radius of 5 cm. So shall we start the solution? First of all, write the given things. 5 cm is nothing but what? Force F1 on a small piston having a radius of 5 cm. That means R1 value is nothing but what? 5 cm. Okay. So what you can write? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Yes, centi stands for 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay. This pressure is transmitted to a second piston of radius 15 cm. So what is 15 cm? Yes, can you tell me R2 is equal to what? 15 centimeter or 15 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Okay. If the mass of car to be lifted 1350 kg. So M they had given mass of car 1350. Clear? Next 1350 kg. Calculate F1. Directly they had given to inform us, they are informing us calculate F1. So F1 is equal to what? Question mark. Next, what is the pressure necessary to accomplish this task? Okay, pressure also they are asking. So if we got F1 means force means we can easily calculate pressure because P is nothing but what? F by A. So F is equal to P into A. So P directly, P also they are asking P is equal to F by A. So P also question mark. Okay. Now let us go for the solution. F1 they are asking directly write the formula. F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2. So F1 is equal to F2 into bracket A1 by A2. Clear? Make the habit of writing it directly. Don't write two steps. F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2. Next again F1 is equal to F2 into A1 by A2. Directly you can write. Okay? Next, substitute the formula directly. F1 they are asking. F2 value. Yes, F2 directly they had not given. In the place of giving F2 what they had given us, F2 is in the place of F2 they had given mass of the car. Clear? Yesterday as we had solved, this F2 will be becoming what? mg, which is nothing but weight of the car. Clear? So with the help of normal reaction again from the same force that car will be moved upwards. Next A1 by A2. Clear? A1 means what? Area for smaller cross section piston. Clear? That is nothing but what? Pi r1 square. Correct? Pi r1 square whole divided by A2 means pi r2 square. Clear? Now just directly substitute the values and check how much you are going to get. M value is nothing but what? 1350. Clear? Next G value is 9.8. Both are in assignments. Pi will get cancelled. R1 value directly given 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Correct? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square whole divided by R2 square. R2 value how much given? 15 centimeters. Okay? 15 into 10 to the power of minus 2 square. Clear? So here how you have to solve means this will be 5 square into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Next 15 square into 10 to the power of minus 2 square. Okay, like that if you calculate means check what is the final answer. F1 value how much you are going to get. For the convenience manner you can consider it as 10. If you are having a basic calculator means you can calculate with 9.8. If you are not having calculator means just round it off to 10. Okay, and check what all the things will get cancelled. Easily from 5 table I hope everything will be resolved. Clear? So shall I check the value how much I had got while solving? So approximately 1470 I got. You also cross check with the help of 9.8 I got 1470. Okay? So this 1470 how I am writing means 1.470 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton. Okay? If I round it off for 2 digits means after the decimal only 1 digit is desired means it will become round off for 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton. Clear? This is our F1. Okay. Next they are asking what? Calculate F1. F1 we got almost equal to 1.5. This is nothing but approximately equal to, almost equal to, not accurately. Approximately equal to 1.5 like this. Approximately equal to. Clear? So next step what they are asking, what is the pressure necessary? So pressure also they are asking. So what is our pressure? Formula P is nothing but what? F by E. Clear? So from F1 they are asking us pressure means this will be F1 by A1. So F1 value 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 whole divided by A1. A1 pi R1 square. Correct? Pi R1 square which is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 whole divided by pi value take it as 3.142. Okay, standard value 3.142. Okay, into R1 square 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 square. This is R1 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 square. Now check how much you are going to get. This final answer, how much you are going to get. Cross check. So I got 1.9 into 10 to the power of plus 5. Okay, this is nothing but pressure. That's why this I made Newton per meter square or Pascal. Clear? Can you able to see here? This is 5 to 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Okay, here I had written square. 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Next, this is 1.9 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Pascal. Finally, you are going to get 1.9 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Clear? I hope here square you are able to see, but this is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That is nothing but R1. Again, whole square. Clear? Okay, so till this class we had discussed about what do we known as density, clear, and what is we known as relative density, and for relative density one more name they had given, that is nothing but water, specific gravity. And also along with this we had discussed about fluid thrust, that is nothing but what? The normal force applied by a fluid perpendicularly, the normal force which has been applied by the fluid on the surface of the object, that is nothing but what? Fluid thrust. After that we had discussed one special concept, that is nothing but what? Pressure. And pressure is nothing but what? Force applied per unit area, that is nothing but P is equal to F by A. Okay. Then I hope you might have heard some news. Okay. What will be happening means a submarine, okay, when it goes deeper and deeper into the sea, okay, if it goes much deeper into the sea means that complete submarine will get crushed. That means why that submarine got crushed, and I hope you might have also experienced whenever you are going to have a swim, whenever you will be going in deeper and deeper up to 8 feet or 12 feet means you will be having something that is pushing you completely. That means the layer of the water level completely, that one layer by layer, that water will be pushing you inside. Okay, that's why you will be feeling maximum pressure over there. And also a human body, if he goes very much deeper inside the sea means that person may get crushed. Okay, so particularly what I am specifying now means what is the pressure value when we are going in deeper manner. Okay, that means variation of pressure with depth. Clear? So shall I put the heading? Variation of pressure with depth. Okay. So as we go deeper into deeper, how the pressure value will change? We came to know that pressure will be increases. Yeah, by what amount it will get increases and how it will be, all the things. Okay, those are things we are going to discuss it now. So what we are considering means, we are considering a vessel which is completely filled with fluid. Okay, this is the vessel which we are having, and this vessel is completely filled with what? Fluid. Okay, basically we are considering liquid. Okay, then here in this completely filled vessel, we are assuming an imaginary cylinder. Okay, So this is nothing but what? A cylinder which we had imagined. Okay, we are imagining a cylinder inside this fluid, and I am giving name for this. Let this point be 1 and here this part be 2. Okay, and cross sectional area for a cylinder it is same only. This is also A, this is also A. Okay, area. Okay, basement area here also it is same, here also it is same. Next, pressures will be different. At this point the pressure value will be P1, at this point the pressure value will be P2. Clear? Until this I hope you might have understood. From examination point of view, this is important one, so listen carefully, but it is very easy. Okay, very easy, but you should have to understand. Okay, next, this cross sectional area for these sides, okay, these upper face as well as lower face, this is nothing but what? A. And let us call the upper side as named as 1 and this lower side face named as 2. Clear? And let pressure be on this upper side P1 and the pressure on the lower side be P2. So we are imagining this complete cylinder, and now what we are going to discuss means we are calculating the pressure difference between these 2 points. So if I got the pressure difference between these 2 points means as I go deeper and deeper, how that value is changing. Okay, with this reference point if I am cross checking means how the value is changing, that we are going to discuss. So after imagining this cylinder, so what we are going to calculate, what is the weight of this complete cylinder? Okay, so weight of imaginary cylinder. So this weight of imaginary cylinder, let us give the name as W. And what do we known as weight actually? Imagine this chalk piece is having a mass m. Okay, we don't know the value. I am telling it as it is having a mass m, and the weight of this object, it is acting in downward direction due to acceleration due to gravity. Okay, due to acceleration due to gravity, the weight which is acting on this body, it is acting in downward direction, and that value is nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity. So basically W is equal to mg, where m is nothing but mass of the object and g is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity which is acting in downward direction. Clear? So my mass is 60 kg. Clear? Where my mass is acting, where my weight is acting means it is towards the center of the earth. Okay, so that value is nothing but what? 60 into 9.8. I hope you are getting. So weight of the imaginary cylinder, this is nothing but mass of liquid in imaginary cylinder into acceleration due to gravity, into acceleration due to gravity. Clear? Now let us assume this liquid, it is having a density of rho. Clear? This is read as a rho. Clear? Don't read it as P. This is a rho. Okay, it will be in this manner, rho. Clear? Next, the length of this imaginary cylinder or the height of this imaginary cylinder, we are going to assume it as h. Clear? The height of this imaginary cylinder is h. Clear? And rho is nothing but density of water, and acceleration due to gravity, it is acting in downward direction g. Clear? So mass of the liquid in imaginary cylinder into acceleration due to gravity, first I will write it as mass as small m, clear, into g as small g. Next we are going to change this mass factor. So how to change this mass factor? Remember, density is nothing but what? Mass per unit volume. Correct, no? Density is nothing but what? Mass per unit volume. So density we can denote it as D is equal to M divided by V. Okay? So we know that density is equal to mass by volume. From this relation, what will be M? M is nothing but what? Density into volume. So that complete value in the place of M, from this relation I am writing density into volume is nothing but mass. So density into volume is nothing but what? Mass. Clear? Next, into G as it is. Clear? I hope you might have getting. Now V is nothing but what? Volume. Okay? Now how to analyze for this volume? Cross sectional area is how much? It is nothing but what? A. Cross sectional area, this is nothing but value A. Okay, we are assuming this value it is as A. Now what I am telling, this volume we should have to change for cross sectional area and height of the cylinder. So if you know cross sectional area A and height of the cylinder, what will be the total volume? Okay, what will be the total volume? So imagine this is a cylinder, complete perfectly cylinder. Next, this area, cross sectional area is A, then length of the cylinder is L. What will be the total volume? A into L, correct? So based on that factor, this volume factor I am going to change it now. So here what I can get, density as it is, volume is nothing but area into height of this column into G. Okay, this is nothing but weight of the imaginary cylinder. Clear? I hope you are getting. Now we want what is the difference in pressure. That only we are discussing. What is the difference in pressure we want. Next, here pressure P1 is acting, here pressure P2 is acting. Definitely P2 is greater than P1 only. Why? It is little bit depth. Okay, if you go deeper into deeper, maximum pressure will apply. Or you can analyze in this manner. Here one layer of water is there, here one more layer of water is there, here one more layer, here one more layer, here one more. So many layers, they are pushing you down. Clear? For each layer, mg, m is nothing but mass of one layer acting in downward direction. Again second layer acting in downward direction, like that one by piece, so many pieces are there. Means here it is maximum pressure as well as maximum force. Here only two layers if we are having, that's why here little bit pressure. Clear? Like that also you can discuss. Or you can just consider this P2, it is more deeper, that's why it will be having maximum pressure. Clear? So due to this pressure difference and this imaginary cylinder, it is not moving. That means we are considering it is stationary, it is not moving. That means what will happen? The forces acting on this imaginary cylinder, they will get balanced. When forces got balanced to each other, then we can tell that cylinder it is in equilibrium position. So what is the meaning of that forces balancing means? The forces which are acting in downward direction, these should be equal to forces which are acting in upward direction. Now consider here, this is nothing but basement. So force will be applying in this manner, correct? So this is nothing but base. So force will be applying in this manner. So here force is nothing but what? P is equal to F by A. We already know from that formula, F is equal to P into A. So this is nothing but P to A, it is acting in upward direction for this phase. Next, at this phase what will happen? P1 into A will act in downward direction. This force P1A is nothing but force, because we know that P is equal to F by A V1. From this, F is equal to P into A. Here pressure is P1, that's why P1 into A. Here pressure is P2, that's why P2 into A. Clear? Okay. Next, the weight of this cylinder will also act in downward direction. Clear? Okay. Weight W, or simply W I will write. Okay. Weight is nothing but acting in downward direction, and here P1A is acting in downward direction and P2A it is acting in upward direction. So what I said, as the cylinder is in equilibrium position, come again, as the cylinder is in equilibrium position, the forces which are acting in downward direction should be equal to the forces which are acting in upward direction. So first of all, let us write forces which are acting in downward direction. So P1A plus W. P1A plus W. W is nothing but weight. Weight is nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity. Here we had calculated mass into acceleration due to gravity. This value. This value is nothing but what? Weight. Clear? W. So P1A plus W should be equal to what? Next, the forces which are acting in upward direction. This is nothing but P2A. Clear? So now take this P1A to the right hand side. So what is remaining with us? W is equal to P2A minus P1A, or P2A minus P1A. P2A minus P1A is equal to W. So what is our W ultimately? Rho AHG. Correct? Huh? So rho AHG. So here take A common. So A will get cancelled. So what is remaining? P2 minus P1 into A. If I take A common, means here rho AHG. So A will get cancelled. So what is remaining? P2 minus P1 is equal to rho GH. Here P2 minus P1 is equal to rho GH, where rho is nothing but the density of the liquid. Clear? G is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity acting in downward direction. H is nothing but height of this liquid column. Clear? Height, sometimes we will be treating it as height, sometimes we will be treating it as depth. Clear? No problem. But notation is H. Clear? This derivation is important from your examination point of view. Okay? So simply first we will consider this imaginary cylinder. We will calculate weight of this imaginary cylinder. Next we just balance the forces, because the cylinder, we are assuming this is in equilibrium. The forces which are acting in downward direction should be equal to forces which are acting in upward direction. So just equate the forces. Finally you are going to get P2 minus P1 is equal to rho GH. Is that clear? Shall we go to next step? Okay. Now assume this complete cylinder, I am shifting completely this P1. This is nothing but, let us treat here, this is the first layer. We are completely taking this complete cylinder at this part. Okay, this complete cylinder at this part, and the process which we had followed till now, this is nothing but we are considering the cylinder inside this liquid. So now what I am considering, this complete cylinder, we are keeping it in this manner. So the cylinder, we are shifting it in this manner. Clear? Are you all getting? So now what we are telling that initially pressure P1 was there, okay, here. Next initially pressure P2 was there here. So what we are telling, if it kept open to the atmosphere, okay, when we are keeping it open to the atmosphere will also exert some pressure. Clear? Due to atmosphere also, we will be having some pressure. Clear? So that atmospheric pressure will act at this topmost point. So earlier topmost point pressure was P1. That P1 we are going to shift it for PA, where PA is nothing but what? Atmospheric pressure. Clear? P2 minus PA is equal to rho GH. Or instead of writing it as P2, simply pressure is nothing but P. Okay, P minus PA is equal to rho GH. This is also very important formula. That means if we want the pressure difference, then we are going to tell this. So P minus PA, this is known as gauge pressure. This is nothing but what? Gauge. G-A-U-G-E. So actual pressure at the depth H, okay, minus atmospheric pressure value we are going to get rho GH. Clear? And P minus PA is known as gauge pressure. And what is the value for this gauge pressure? Rho GH. Clear? So if you refer books means, in some books they will tell P minus PA as gauge pressure, and in some books they will tell rho GH as gauge pressure. So don't get confusion. Gauge pressure, it is nothing but what? It is nothing but the difference, or it is nothing but basically it is a difference between actual pressure and atmospheric pressure. Actual pressure below the depth H, clear, and atmospheric pressure PA, clear. So that value will turn out to be rho GH. So rho GH is nothing but a gauge pressure, and just it is nothing but difference between actual pressure and atmospheric pressure. If atmosphere was not there, if we are completely maintaining vacuum, vacuum means pressure value will be equal to 0. We won't have anything to apply any pressure on that particular fluid. Clear? So when we are considering PA value equal to 0, that means in the absence of atmospheric pressure, what will be happen for our P means, initially we have P minus PA is equal to rho GH. If PA value is 0 means P minus 0. P minus 0 is nothing but P. So P is equal to rho GH. Clear? So P is equal to rho GH. This formula is valid. Okay, whenever we are going to calculate only pressure in the absence of atmospheric pressure at the depth H. Okay, below some depth H, we are going to calculate pressure. That pressure will be equal to rho GH, where rho is nothing but density of the fluid, G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity, and H is nothing but what? Until what depth you are entering over there, that value will be H. So what is our complete conclusion for this derivation means? This rho is nothing but what? Basically that is nothing but a density of the liquid. So if density value increases, density of the fluid value increases means P value should get increased, because directly relation it is. So P is equal to rho GH. Right hand side value it is increasing means left hand side value also get increased. So that's why what we are telling, if a rho value got increased means it implies that P value, that means pressure value should have to increase. Clear? If rho value increasing means P value also increasing. If rho value it is increasing means pressure value should also have to increase. Okay? If a rho value increased, it implies that pressure value should have to increase. Clear? Next, G is acceleration due to gravity. Okay, we are treating it as constant. Obviously, it is not a constant. For different places on earth, this value, G value will change, but for most of the time, we are going to treat it as constant value. So, now what is the variable? Again, H. So, now check. If H value increases means, what will happen for P? Come on. If H value increases means, P value again it should have to increase. Why? Direct relation. P is proportional to H. Clear? If H increases means again P should have to increase. Clear? Are you all following what I am telling? So what I am telling, density increase means pressure should have to get increased. Okay, if height increase means or depth increase means pressure should have to get increased. Clear? So now one of the basic point what we are going to discuss, pressure is basically it is a scalar quantity. Clear? And it is a isotropic quantity. Pressure value is isotropic. Isotropic means we are going to calculate inside a fluid and the value will be same in all directions. That means inside this fluid at this point, if I am going to cross check what is the value for pressure at this dot. At this dot I am going to calculate pressure. That pressure value will be same in this direction. Okay, pressure value will be in this. Basically the force which is acting here, PA, here also PA, here also PA, like that. Okay, pressure value it is isotropic. That means in all the directions pressure value will be same only. Clear? Next we are going to discuss one more important concept, that is nothing but for a same horizontal line which we are drawing it on the on this complete vessel which is filled with fluid, then the pressure will remain unchanged. Okay, this is very important one. So how I can demonstrate this means, Imagine that here I am going to, let us assume this is as a glass beaker or a glass cylinder. Okay, so we are attaching one strip here. Okay, a red color strip, let us take. Here we are attaching the red color strip on this. So what I am telling you, if I want to calculate pressure here, okay, from the surface of this complete beaker, okay, from the surface until which the water has been filled, from this point to this point, let us consider this distance is nothing but what? Here already we had considered h, I will consider here it as h1. Okay, at point 1, at point one more point, point 2, at this point, point 3, at this point, point 4. Pressure at point 1 equal to pressure at point 2, which is equal to pressure at point 3, and that is equal to pressure at point 4, and let us assume here vacuum is there. Okay, here vacuum is there. Just forget about the cylinder and all. Just to consider a beaker which is filled with water, and for that beaker, let us assume that here one strip we had attached. Okay, then on that strip, at this point, this point, this point, this point, we are calculating pressure. So those four values will be same only. Okay, P1, P2, pressure at this point equal to pressure at this point equal to pressure at this point, which is equal to pressure at this point. So P1 equal to P2 equal to P3 equal to P4. That value is nothing but what? Rho. Okay, already which we had calculated. Rho G. H is for cylinder I had told, but what is H here? H1. So rho G H1. Have you got this point? Okay, for the same horizontal level, if we are cross checking the value of pressure means, okay, at that point, all the points at that horizontal level, the pressure value will remain unchanged. What is that? The pressure value will remain unchanged for a horizontal level, for a same horizontal level. Okay, if the horizontal level it is in this manner, means pressure here minimum, pressure here maximum, because height increase means pressure should have to get increased. Now I hope you might have got the feel why that submarines which have been entered deeply into the sea, why they will get crushed. And also when you are in swimming, okay, if you go much deeper and deeper, you will feel some difficulty and you will feel something that someone is pushing you. That water, why that water is pushing you? Because of due to this pressure. Got the point? Okay. Now we are going to discuss about one more very important point, that is nothing but hydrostatic paradox. Clear? Again one more new terminal came, new word came, that is nothing but what? Hydrostatic paradox. Okay. So shall I erase this board completely? Note it down, because this in-depth derivation nowhere you are going to get. Clear? Shall I erase the board? Listen, hydrostatic paradox. So what is the meaning of this hydrostatic paradox? Means we are having 3 to 4 different vessels. Okay, so one is in this vertical manner here, and next one like this conical. Okay, next one more like this conical. Yeah, next let us take this side. Okay, these are all 4 vessels. 1, 2, clear? Next 3, and this is 4th one. Okay, these 4 vessels are of different shapes, but these 4 vessels are connected by a horizontal pipe. Clear? So this is little bit shape out. Okay, don't worry. So now what we are doing means we are filling a liquid here. Okay, any liquid. Let us take water. If I fill water up to here means in all 4 vessels, water level will be up to the same point. I hope you are just getting this point. Clear? When I fill water over here, in all 4 vessels, what will happen? In only one vessel the water level won't increase, okay? Because these are all connected means, okay? As soon as I go on putting water, if I stop at this point over here, means this is nothing but the same horizontal line, the water level will stop, correct? Huh? I hope you are getting this point. Clear? So what is the meaning of this hydrostatic paradox? Means the water will find its own height, or the water will find its own limit. Clear? Water itself will find, or the liquid itself will found its own limit, its own height. Clear? And the pressure doesn't depend on the shape of the container, but it only depends on height or depth until which that container is filled. Okay, this is nothing but hydrostatic paradox. Okay, the 3 or 4 vessels if we consider, okay, they are all connected by a horizontal pipe at the basement. Okay, then we go on filling the fluid. Okay, if we go on filling the liquid, okay, water will find its own level. Okay, the liquid itself will find its own level. That is nothing but what? Hydrostatic paradox. And one more very important point, pressure. Okay, pressure at this point, if I want to calculate, means, okay, at a depth h, okay, this is nothing but h from here to here. This is nothing but what? H. So at a depth h, at this point, if I want to calculate pressure, means this is nothing but what? Rho gh. Clear? So rho is nothing but density of the fluid, g is nothing but acceleration due to gravity, h is nothing but this point. At this point again, if I want to calculate pressure, clear? Again rho gh, but h is same only. Clear? So the pressure doesn't depend on the shape or size of the container, but it only depends on how much depth or how much height of the container to which the water level or the liquid level is existing. So for this one small example I will take. So let us consider here a cylindrical vessel. Okay. So this is completely filled with what? Liquid. Okay, completely filled with what? Liquid. So they have given us this total height is h. Okay, the small height is, this is h1 and this one has h2. Okay, so we want to calculate what is the pressure at this point. So here what is the pressure we are going to calculate. Clear? So what we are doing, first at this point we will come to depth h1. Clear? We will check pressure here. So this here pressure is nothing but, let us tell it is nothing but P1 is equal to rho g h1, because it is h1 depth, that's why rho g h1. Next, for the same horizontal point, here also pressure should be what? Rho g h1. Clear? I hope you are getting this point. You should have to start enjoying physics. Clear? So here also rho g h1, here also rho g h1. Next, here at this point what will happen? So already rho g h1 is there, again this point. Okay, so here rho g h1 plus, what about this pressure at this point? Rho g h2. Okay, so ultimately what we can take a rho g as common, rho g into bracket h1 plus h2, or h1 plus h2, h2 plus h1, that is nothing but total height. So what I can write? Rho g h. Clear? So total pressure at this point, this is nothing but rho g h. H is nothing but total height of the container. It doesn't depend on shape. Pressure doesn't depend on shape, but it depends on height. Clear? H factor. It mainly depends on H. Clear? And one small example we are having. So we will go through that example. Clear? Shall I erase the board? Clear? So here we have a small question. Okay. So what is the pressure on a swimmer 10 meters below the surface of the lake? Clear? So given atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power of 5 and density of water is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Now let us write the solution. Okay, so how I can draw the lake, okay. Let us imagine this is a lake and here swimmer is 10 meter below. This arrow mark is nothing but swimmer. Okay, and he is 10 meter below. Correct? 10 meter below given in the question. Next, density of this water given to you, because he will be swimming in water only. Okay, density of water 1000 kg per meter cube. Clear? And 1000 kg per meter cube, this is nothing but what? Density of water. Density of water given to you 1000 kg per meter cube. Next, what was the thing they had given? Atmospheric pressure. From atmosphere, okay, atmosphere will also exert some pressure. Clear? This is nothing but what? Atmospheric pressure value given to you 1.01 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Okay, 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Okay. Now they are calculating what is the pressure on the swimmer. On the swimmer, what is the pressure? Pressure at this point they are asking. Correct? Pressure for that swimmer. So we know that P is equal to what? In the presence of atmospheric pressure plus pressure due to this one. Atmospheric pressure given to you. If it is vacuum means here 0. Don't worry. Okay, here they had given atmospheric pressure is this much and here this much. Clear? So what we can take? Even if they had not given atmospheric pressure, you should have to take atmospheric pressure. Why? A swimmer doesn't swim in such a place where atmosphere is upside. Clear? That's why you have to take. So P is equal to PA, atmospheric pressure, plus pressure due to this part. What I can write? Pressure due to this complete depth. It is 10 meter below. This is nothing but what? H. Density. And acceleration due to gravity acting in downward direction. So PA plus rho G H. Clear? So PA is nothing but just substitute the values 1.01. Clear? Into 10 to the power of 5 plus rho value is 1000. Okay. G value not given means you just take it as 10 only, better for calculation purpose. 1000 into 10 meter per second square. Okay. Into H value is again 10 meter. Clear? So here what we can write 1.01 into 10 to the power of 5 as it is. Okay. Here 1000 into 10 into 10. So this is 10 to the power of 3 into 10 means 10 to the power of 4 into 10 means 10 to the power of 5. Okay. 10 to the power of 5. So how to calculate this? Just take 10 to the power of 5 common. 10 to the power of 5 into bracket 1.01 plus 1. Clear? So 1.01 plus 1, it is nothing but what? 2.01. 2.01 into 10 to the power of 5. So what we have calculated? Pressure. So this is nothing but Pascal. So a swimmer, when he is 10 meter below the surface of the lake, in the presence of atmospheric pressure, he will experience the pressure of 2.01 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Clear? I hope you have understood. Okay? In our next class, again we are going to continue about this point and what is the average pressure exerted on the side of walls of the vessel. Okay? Those all remaining things we are going to discuss it in our next class. So keep studying, don't waste your time. Thank you.